Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video, and welcome back to Enter the Gungeon. Now, I want to start off this video by apologizing because I have missed the last 3 days of content on the channel. And I know this isn't a channel update or anything, but I feel I at least need to mention it. And I'm probably, if I remember, going to mention it at least to some degree in the other two videos that are going up today, Binding of Isaac and War Cube. But, like, I had no intentions of actually missing these days with all this content and everything. I was fully intent on trying to get as much content out as to you guys as I could, and I just couldn't fulfill that. I was extremely busy over the past 3 days. Mix that in with some exhaustion, and any free time I got, it was spent sleeping because I was exhausted from everything. But I do have some free time now, and I am going to do my very best to get back on the right track, because I know once I get into this habit again of getting videos out, that I will be able to stay consistent for a period of time, regardless of how busy I may end up getting. It's just a matter of getting there at this point. So I apologize for missing content. I know that's not how it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be getting content out to you guys regardless of my own schedule and things going on with me. But I had to miss. I couldn't afford to take time out of my busy schedule and record as much as I wanted to. So I'm back at it again, though. So, I mean, that's something, isn't it? My skills have probably deteriorated over the course of my absence because I haven't played these games in 3 or 4 days. And when I say these games, I mean the games I'm currently playing on the channel. But I'm sure I'll be able to get the hang of things once again. And we'll be able to get these series back up and rolling. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. But there are actually other things I want to talk about that aren't even related to this game or the channel, for that matter. Like, just things I want to bring up. And actually, the only reason I want to bring them up is because I was just listening to music. Which, you know, sometimes I just sit down and listen to music because I like listening to music. I can't do it while I'm working on other shit or doing anything else because I like really listening to the music and everything, getting a nice feel for it. And so I was just listening to a band called The Chemists, who I've grown to like ever since I heard their most popular song on, or in Madden, rather, the latest Madden, which, I play. If you've got a problem with that, shut up, is all I have to say. Okay? Just shut up, please. I don't want to hear none of your anti-football nonsense. But aside from that, I heard their most popular song in there, and I was like, damn, that sounds good. And I decided to buy the rest of their album, and I've listened through most of the album, and that's pretty good too. Now, first off, or if you decide to get into it, I will give you a fair warning. It's electronic rock, and it's pretty intense electronic rock at that. So it's a pretty defined niche that they're in, or niche, however you pronounce it. So if you're not into that, don't listen to it. Like, I'm giving you a warning now. But it's sort of the kind of crap that I'm into. I'm into a lot of variations of rock, anything intense. So I like it, obviously, and it appears to be very niche, as like a very specific market as well, because I was buying it on iTunes, and there was only like 5 reviews for it or something up on there. So not a whole lot of people are into it, but I am. I really like that album. I haven't listened to their other albums that they have, but I'm assuming that they are either similar or like I don't know, different in certain ways. Like maybe it's pure rock or something that they did in the other ones. I don't know. I didn't bother to look into those ones. I just wanted to get the newest album, which actually came out in March of 2016, I found out. And I knew it had to be before August or before any of those summer months, because Madden gets released like in August or something. So I knew it had to be one or the other. And I gotta buy a key. Can I actually? No, can't. So I knew it had. Oh fuck! I knew it had to be before those summer months, but it's still like kind of hard for me to believe that it was that long ago when that came out. But hey, I mean, it doesn't really matter. The music is still just as good. So I recommend it if you're into different variations of rock, if you're willing to listen to electronic rock. Again, I know that's like a very specific market, but I'm recommending them because they were very good. I liked what they put out. And speaking of music, if you're not aware already, I am a very big fan of Linkin Park. As well, not ironic, but as ridiculous as that may sound, since they're like the butt of all jokes now or something. I really like their music. They're my favorite band in general. I really like their music, and they're actually coming out with a new album very soon. And no one really knows anything yet. It could be another rock album like they typically do, but there are rumors that it is R&B based and hip hop based, and I'm okay with that because it's them. It's Linkin Park. It's not some band that like Green Day, where I like them, but I'm not gonna like support them through and through. But I mean, Linkin Park is different. I'll listen to anything they put out. It doesn't matter. I actually have a majority of their songs from all their albums, and they've put out like what, 6 albums I think in total over the course of like, what's it been now, 17 years. So if you really think about it, they haven't put out that many albums for that time span, if we're gonna compare them to other bands. But I like what they have put out, and fuck, and like, I can't wait for the new album, actually. Like, I'm highly anticipating it. I just wish it would come sooner, man. I've been waiting for a new album for 3 years now, because their last album they put out was 3 years ago, The Hunting Party. And that was a very metal, hard rock album, which is something that isn't really their style, but it's something they tried, and it's something I can appreciate. And what else was I gonna say? They did put out some songs with Steve Aoki, whatever his name is. I really don't know what his name is, or how you pronounce it rather. He's a DJ or whatever. They put out a song with him before The Hunting Party and after The Hunting Party in 2015, and I like that one as well. And that was electronic based, obviously, because he was a DJ. So, like, I like anything they put out, really. Even if it deviates from what they normally put out, which is rock-based stuff, I like it. Or alternative rock, rather. And frankly, I feel they're underappreciated these days, because they've deviated from their original style, which it was in their first 2 albums, and they've kind of switched styles around. They've changed it up, which I have no problem with. But maybe that's why they're underappreciated. Or at least I feel they're underappreciated. I know they have a very large fan base regardless of that. But I just feel like they don't get the recognition they deserve. So that's just me, though. I'm really looking forward to it. I also bought the newest album from Green Day. I bought an album from another band that I found called From Ashes to New, which is modern alt-rock. They're very similar to Linkin Park in a lot of ways, which is, again, probably why I like them. They do a lot of rap rock and stuff like that, which is similar to what Linkin Park does. What else was I going to say? So I bought that album. They're pretty good. They're not very well known either, but they're more well known than the Chemists, and they've been around since 2013. From Ashes to New has, anyway, not the Chemists. I don't know how long they've been around for. So I recommend any and all of the bands that I have talked about. Most definitely you have heard of Green Day. Not so sure about Linkin Park, to be honest, but everyone I've talked to seems to have at least heard of them, so that, I guess that means something. Probably definitely haven't heard of the Chemists or From Ashes to New. So I definitely recommend giving those bands a look. They're pretty good. If you're into the whole alternative rock, electronic rock thing, you know, if you're not into that, don't bother because you won't like it. Well, I shouldn't say that. Linkin Park has put out songs that aren't rock-based. They're more alternative-based, like their album 1,000 Suns and Minutes to Midnight. So if you don't like rock so much but you like alternative music, or hell, even like a little pop music, those albums are for you if you're looking to at least check out Linkin Park. But yeah, I definitely recommend those bands, and if you have any bands that you want me to give a listen, I will gladly listen to them. I'm always looking for new bands, even if they're older ones. I like 80s rock, I like 80s pop as well. I like anything from the 80s, so yeah, I mean, I'll give people a listen, give different bands a listen. So if you have any bands you want me to try and listen to, leave them down in the comment section below. And I spend a good chunk of my time talking about that. But it's something I wanted to talk about because I'm real into music and I like that stuff, and I wanted to express that with you guys. I apologize if this isn't what you like, if you would rather just have me talk about the game. But there's only so much I can talk about. I mean, really, I've been doing the same thing for like 20 episodes in this game. There isn't a whole lot I can talk about anymore in reference to the game until I get past the second chamber. So, yeah. I also want to talk about a movie that I saw, and you all have probably heard of it, or if you haven't, it's called Split. I went and saw that, and to be honest with you, I am very critical of movies. There aren't many movies that I like anymore when I go to see, because I'm very critical of them. Like, I'm always judging the plot and the character development and stuff like that because I'm very into writing, and that's kind of just my thing. Like, of course, I probably couldn't do any better, but I like judging it anyway. And Split was one of the few movies in a while that I thought was actually good. Like, basing it on like a Rotten Tomatoes scale, I'd say it's around 75%, which is actually what Rotten Tomatoes gave it, on their scale, or what fans gave it anyway on that scale. Where am I gonna go? Here. And I really liked it because, well, I didn't really like it. I just thought it was good, which is not very common for me, for movies, and I see a lot of movies as well. So, yeah. Like, I just didn't think it was that, or I thought it was pretty good. I don't know what I'm trying to say anymore. But the only reason it wasn't great for me is because it's like a thriller/horror. The characters obviously make some dumb mistakes. But their mistakes, I feel like, wouldn't be realistic, and that's why my rating is lower than like something like a 90% or something. The movie overall is pretty good. It's got a nice concept. It delivers on the whole thriller aspect. The guy who played the dude with the 23 personalities or whatever, the main enemy, I guess, is, if you want to call him that. The guy who played him did a very good job with his role. I thought he did an amazing job acting. And frankly, that doesn't do a whole lot for a movie when I'm critiquing it. or when I'm judging it, because I liked the acting of the guy who played Lex Luthor, which was Jesse Eisenberg, I think, in Batman vs. Superman. I thought his acting was pretty good, and I hated that movie with a burning passion. So that doesn't do a whole lot for a movie for me, but I thought his acting was good. I thought there are 3 girls that he kidnaps or whatever. It's not a spoiler. You get that from the fucking trailer. So, and I thought their acting was pretty good. The main girl, or whatever, again, her decision making wasn't realistic. And I felt like some of their decision making wasn't really realistic. And some other characters as well that are in the movie. And that's really what would knock a thriller/horror movie for me, is if the decision making or the thought process in the characters isn't really realistic. No, I can't give you an example because it would kind of spoil the movie, and I don't really want to do that. But that's really the only thing that knocked it down for me. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I'd recommend it, which is surprising. There aren't many movies that I find to be great or good as of recently. The movies I've watched recently, if I can name a couple over the past 2 years that I liked, and these could be movies I've either seen in theaters or they're long out of theaters or whatever. I'm just going to run through them real quick. And I know we're not playing anymore, but I just want to run through it real quick. Social Network I liked, featuring Jesse Eisenberg, Andrew Garfield, Armie Hammer. Can't think of anybody else in that movie. There were some other bigger names in there, I think. Zootopia I liked. I have I have a special place in my heart for animated movies, so I feel like I always give them a decent enough rating even if they're not good. I like Zootopia. What else did I like? Fuck, I can't remember. Damn, I can't remember any of the other movies I really liked. Guess that means they didn't really have that much of an impact on me. I guess I liked Captain America: Civil War. I mean, it's not very high up there, but I put it in a 65% around there, which is good in my books. Or in my book rather, not plural. But other than that, I can't think of any other movies, and I've seen a lot. It takes a lot to impress me, and it's not just because I'm being stingy on purpose. It's because I look at the plot and everything, and I look at the character development, and I look at realism, if the movie is meant to be realistic to an extent, and I look at a bunch of different aspects, and I look at them all in my head, and if something doesn't make sense, that automatically lowers my rating for me. So yeah. And I hated movies like Suicide Squad, Batman vs. Superman, because those were fucking horrible movies. Jesus Christ. I don't understand the appeal to Suicide Squad at all, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm already wasting your time. That's it for this Enter the Gungeon episode. I didn't do too well these 2 runs, probably because I was distracted with talking about bands and movies, but whatever. I mean, I had fun talking about that stuff, so no big deal. If you guys are enjoying this series, though, let me know down in the comments section below. Like the video and share it with your friends. That lets me know you want to see more of any game series I do here on the channel. Link down to the game is in the description box down below if you want to pick it up for yourself. And if you guys enjoyed this video in particular, again, likes and comments are greatly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel for more gaming content. Play all sorts of games on my channel, including this one, obviously. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you very much, and I'll talk to you later.